Introduce yourself.
Doug Baldwin.
Who you are, what you do.
Doug Baldwin, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks.
Cool.
Yeah, hand me back on this me stuff. Youngest brother running, I'm now my king tuck. Beanie on Cabeza, keep me warm out in the sound. Think I'm cooler than the freezers, why she never come around? That's the reason.
How was it coming like off of such a high from your collegiate career into the NFL?
It wasn't so much as a high because I didn't get drafted. You know what I mean? So the Orange Bowl, don't get me wrong, was great. I got to experience that with my teammates. Phenomenal experience, but then going into the draft thinking that I was going to have an opportunity to hear my name called and then didn't hear my name called, that was devastating to me. As you know, that was a dream of mine growing up, and then so obviously that was the valley part of the roller coaster ride, and then being able to come to Seattle, winning an opportunity to play on the team, and staying here longer than 3 days, that was a win for me. And then obviously being able to contribute early in my rookie season, that was definitely a high for me.
Okay. So you got your first touchdown catch, 2011 in the NFL. What was that feeling like?
It felt like it was supposed to happen, honestly. You know, I had the same mentality that I had from my senior year in college to getting into the NFL. So my first game was like my 13th game in college. And so I just kept going mentally too. And so it felt like it was supposed to happen, you know. And then after the game, I sat back and I realized that was my first touchdown in the NFL, my first game in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, it was truly a blessing. And I don't think I'll actually be able to comprehend what that truly means to me until I'm done playing the game of football.
Gotcha. You guys get berated by the media all the time. You guys get bombarded by the media, asked a ton of questions. And I always like to know, what's one question that you always hope people ask you? Like, what's something you actually want people to ask?
How I'm feeling today. You know, I think, like you said, we get bombarded by the media all the time, and they're asking us questions that they want us to slip up on, so that they can get a click, they can get a quote that they can use for negative reasons, for negative publicity. And so, you know, I think that if the media would just have a real relationship with us, that they actually looked at us as human beings instead of just looking at us as somebody they're trying to trick to get like a quote for.
Yeah.
I think it would go a lot more smoothly than it does currently. But yeah, I mean, you know, if a dude just came up to me, he's like, "How you doing today?" Like, "I'm good. All right, now we can start this interview." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to get something negative right off the bat, then that just makes me standoffish and not want to talk to you.
That makes sense. You're really like quiet in person. You're like a really reserved dude, but on the field it's not that way. You know what I mean? What's it like? Is it like a switch you flip, or is it that's just really who you are in that environment?
No, so there's two parts of an individual who's playing football at the highest level and have to compete at the highest level. You know, me personally, I'm an introvert. I don't like going out that much. I don't party. You won't see me out. Like if you do, you'll see me at like the basketball court or out eating at Applebee's. You know, I'm like, but other than that, I'm just chilling at my home. I like playing video games and watching TV and watching movies in my house because that's where I'm comfortable. But on the football field, I'm that cat that, you know, I'm gonna run my mouth a little bit, and I'm just passionate about what I do. And some people call it angry. I don't think it's necessarily me being angry. It's just, you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve and I show my emotions. And so, you know, that rubs people the wrong way sometimes because they don't like their feathers to be ruffled.
Right.
But on the football field, I have to have some aspects of that passionate persona in order for me to do what I'm supposed to do out there on the field. So, yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's two different people. It's just one aspect of my life I have to have in order to get to that point. Cam calls it the dark place that you got to get to in order to play this game. But off the field, I'm as quiet as they come.
Okay, I see that. I've seen that. I remember when I first met you. We came to AT&T that day, and the kid was like, "Hey, you're that guy that was making those catches. You're this guy that's got those catches on the sideline." How's that feel, man? Like, how's celebrity feel?
It's weird, you know, because to us, we still the same dudes that was in college, that was playing little league football. You know, we just play football, and it's weird because, you know, people will recognize you or they'll say something to you and they'll treat you like you're different than a normal human being, and it catches you off guard sometimes because I get in this mode where I'm just out there just being myself, and then I gotta react to somebody who's walking up to me thinking, you know, it's something different than what it is.
Yeah.
So it takes time to get used to. You know, obviously I'm thankful and blessed to be in the position that I am in, but at the same time, like I said, I just play football. You know, I don't want to be treated as a normal dude. So like if I'm out with my family eating or, you know, with my girl, I just like to be left alone, just like anybody else does. You know, and like I said, I'm an introvert too. So, you know, I'm more towards that shy side than I am anything else.
One thing I did want to say in relation to my daughter, though, because her mom loved you because they're half Filipino. Her mom's half Filipino. You mean a lot to the Filipino community out here. Like, did you expect that type of reception?
Nah, I mean, like I said, I was just being me, you know, living my life. My grandmother, I'm extremely close to my grandmother, who's Filipino, and so you know, a lot of my personality, a lot of the things that I talk about relates to her or has something to do with her and her Filipino background and her culture. So it's just kind of natural, you know. And for whatever reason, I post pictures of my grandmother and talk about lumpia and pancit and chicken adobo and stuff, and so, you know, people relate to that. The Filipinos relate to that, and then they love up on me for it, you know. And, it's kind of strange, but at the same time, you know, it is part of my culture, so I embrace it as well.
Right, that's dope because I have a lot of Filipino friends, and I always see like your jerseys, and I always see the T-shirts. Like I said, my daughter and her mom own the bubble shirts, like with the flag and everything else. And I think that's dope, especially because you are a great representation, not just of the Filipino community, but just as a man, and, you know. So I think that's a great thing. How do you feel about free agency, just in the league? Not about specific moves or anything, but how do you just feel about just moving the period?
I mean, in terms of if a player is, you know, done with his contract and then he can, you know, open himself up to other opportunities, I think that's great for the player. You know, I think it's difficult. Free agency, I don't really have any problems with or issues with. It's more so when people get traded, you know, especially, you know, dealing with the trade that just happened recently. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm extremely excited about Jimmy Graham coming to Seattle, but Max Unger was my boy, you know, and we were close, and so to have somebody that you're close to leave abruptly, you know, and them not even know anything about it, you know, it kind of stings you a little bit. But that's the business, that's the nature of the business, and so, you know, that's what we signed up for. So we know that's going to happen. But at the same time, we're still human beings, you know, and that affects us in some way.
Right. I can do that. What was your first major purchase? Like when you signed your new contract, what was the first thing you bought?
No, that's a good question. I did buy some property. I bought a house. I was actually living with Sherman at the time when we were renting this place. And I love Sherman to death, but, you know, it's two grown men who can't be living together, man. Not like that. And Sherman's my boy, but, you know, our personalities are so similar that we clash a lot, and so we couldn't be living in the same vicinity. So I had to get my own spot, and so that was my first big purchase.
Okay, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Growing up, what was your favorite video game?
Madden, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you know, I'm playing football all my life, so of course I've been playing Madden all my life as well.
You any good?
I'm alright.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. People brag all the time.
No, I'm not gonna brag. I'm pretty good, but I ain't the best, so
okay.
I ain't gonna brag about it.
What's your favorite? You know, actually, if you weren't playing football, it's a really interesting question. But everybody's answer is different. If you weren't in the league, what could you see yourself doing?
I really don't know. Before I got into the league, if I was thinking about it, I really don't know what I've been doing. But now, and knowing what I want to do after I'm done playing football, I want to be a high school math teacher. So I would hope that if I wasn't playing ball, that's what I would probably gone into. But I don't know, because I know when I didn't get drafted, we were in the lockout year, and so I didn't know what I was going to do if football wasn't going to pan out for me. I applied to a whole bunch of different places, only got a couple even callbacks.
Really?
So if it wasn't for football, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
Okay. You're from Florida. Why Stanford? It's such a different atmosphere.
It was the only D1 school to recruit me.
Really?
Yep. And my mom and my dad, they set up a college fund for me when I was younger. So I had an opportunity to go to a college, and some of it would be paid for. But I didn't want to put that burden on them to have to help me pay for college or have to take out a loan. I didn't want to do that. And so, I wanted everything to work out to where I could get a scholarship and not have to pay for school. And so Stanford was the only D1 school to recruit me and offer me, so I had to take it. Granted, I'm not mad about that,
yeah.
But I would have liked to have been closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very close to my family, so it was tough going the opposite coast of the United States and being away from them. So I take from the experience what I can, and it was a culture shock for me going from the South to the West,
mm-hmm.
and I appreciate it though because it taught me a lot. It made me get out of my comfort zone, and I'm a better man because of it. And now, I'm used to it, being away from my family, but obviously I still miss them. So
right.
It was the only D1 school to recruit me.
It's a hell of a school to recruit you.
Yeah, it was a crazy story though. One of the recruiting directors
mm-hmm.
at Stanford, his dad actually was the owner of the Pensacola News Journal, or
really?
was the Pensacola News Journal.
That's interesting.
So he told his son they should come check me out.
Mm-hmm.
They did. Next week they offered me a scholarship. So
dope.
Yeah, it was destined for me to go there.
There we go. Nice. You ever met Roy Jones?
Yeah, that's my boy.
You guys from the same town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hoop all the time.
When
we were young, when I was younger, we used to hoop all the time at the same rec center.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of those guys that would brag and say he was best at basketball. He ain't that good.
You always see the clips of him like hooping before matches and stuff like that, or used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Nah, he was just quick. He was super quick, so
mm-hmm.
not a lot of people could keep up with him.
Right.
But then when you get another athlete who's just as quick as him,
right, it's different.
It's different.
So, last year, the confetti's falling, everything Super Bowl. What's your first thought after the game's over?
I didn't believe that the game was over. You talking about last year when we won it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about this.
I don't even want to talk about this.
Nah, man, I was extremely emotional, and it kind of had built up because it was about 3 minutes left in the game, and we realized that we had won the game. There was no way they could come back from the deficit. So, it's weird, bro, because all my life, all I've known is football. Since I was 6 years old, all I've known is football, and every year you always see on TV the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl winners and how they celebrate. You see guys crying on TV, and I've seen that. I've witnessed that since I was younger. And to be in that moment and realize that the dream that I've had my entire life had actually come true.
Mm-hmm.
To be on the stage at the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, I can't even put it in words. And I don't think that I will be able to, or I won't be able to fully understand it until, like I said, I'm done playing football and I'm away from the game and I'm able to take a step back and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But that moment itself, I'll never forget that moment. It's crazy. You don't forget a lot of, or you don't remember a lot of certain plays. Touchdowns. I don't remember some touchdowns. I don't remember some catches. I don't remember some games. But it's moments like that where you're surrounded by the guys that you spent so much time with throughout the course of the season, and you appreciate the gravity of what just happened. That's I'll remember that moment for my entire life. I'll forget the whole season, but just that moment at the Super Bowl, at the end of the Super Bowl, I'll never forget that.
Do you wear your ring often?
Nah, it's more of a hassle if I do wear my ring. You know?
Right.
Like I said, I like to be low key. So if people recognize me and then they see the ring, then I can't get away from it. You know? But no, I have it locked up in a safe deposit box at the bank.
Gotcha.
Keep it safe. I treasure that thing.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
Of course, homie.